Hello. I'm not a social person. When conversing with people, you're expected to make the right facial expressions to show that you're engaged in that conversation. But I can't do that, and since practicing social interaction requires several things, instead I made a whole new head to make those expressions for me. Also, object heads are peak character design. First, grab your head measurements. Model a TV head based on those measurements. I made mine from scratch on SketchUp, hoping on the slightest chance it'll eventually look nice to 3D print. 3 days into modeling this, I realized I don't own a 3D printer, so I had to find someone else to print this out for me. Everything's looking good. You can make the 3D printing a little cheaper if you print the model in parts, and it's less likely to warp in the process. But also, I spent another week just melting and gluing and sanding and melting and priming and sanding and painting and sanding the thing to get the whole assembled TV head. Alternatively, you can just pick up an old discarded CRT monitor and use that, but you have to empty it out first. To fit this on your head, last time I tried that foam setup this TV head master suggested. It's so beautiful.
Why doesn't mine look like that?
This time I got one of these. It fits my head, it's got a safety strap, it's light, it's comfy. It's kinda tough to stick a curved surface to a flat one, so I'm making it flat. 오. 나도 해볼래. Gluing the helmet to the TV is just as easy. There's a couple of options for adhesives, but to get a permanent bond, epoxy glue was the best choice for this. It's a 2-step part to set up, and I never used it before, so Dad helped me mix it together. 오, 꿀 같아.
이 정도면 충분할 것 같은데?
그래?
뚜껑
뚜껑 여기. 이제 저은다. 오. While that dries, I got 3 things from Adafruit: an LED matrix panel, a matrix portal board, and a mini mic. All I need to do is to wire it all together. Okay, so I don't own any soldering equipment, and frankly I don't trust my own bodily functions half the time, so I asked a professional to do it for me. He did an amazing job and even sent me this video of how he did it.
Right, we've got this quick job of soldering to do for a student.
This is what the connection looks like. I even made a 3D case for it that took another couple of days to do. I did want to have a remote with buttons, but I decided that was a bad idea because I don't know how to make that. I did notice that the board I got came with an accelerometer. I think it's this thing here. It detects changes in movement and turns them into numbers. So I followed this one tutorial to get some idea of what the heck I am doing. Then I wrote some code. First, to make the mouth move when the mic picks up audio. Hey! Hello! Then to make the face change states depending on which way it's tilting. That and automate the blinking, and you'll trick people into thinking like this is face tracked and more impressive than it actually is. Because all it takes is just dumping in all my image files, loading everything up all at once, and sliding around the assets to make it look like it's animated. Now I can just... oh shit, I can't keep this thing plugged into the computer. To make it portable, I 3D printed a case to hold a power bank in the back as a battery. It's important to have this in the back to act as a counterweight, otherwise your TV head would be too front heavy. I realized this way too late for my first TV head, so I decided to balance it out by hot gluing a kilogram worth of rusty dumbbells to the back, balanced as all things should be at the cost of my spine. But how do you see that? Can you see through that? Yes, but not really. It's a periscope. To make one, I cut out strips of cheap mirrors, and by I mean my dad. Angle them right and you can see through the gaps of the LED panel. For the monitor, I used a clear polycarbonate sheet, because unlike real glass, this stuff is less likely to shatter and I prefer not getting stabbed by glass shards. I also put a tinting film on it because no one needs to see what's on the inside. But yeah, it's not the best vision. You'll go from seeing something like this to this. So probably have someone with you and don't go wearing this at night. Now I have all the pieces, all I need to do is smush them all together and stuff them into the TV box. You can use super glue, hot glue, adhesive spray, epoxy glue, tape, or all of them. I don't know. My process for putting this thing together was mostly I wonder if this stuff is sticky enough. Oh, so here's what I used. Super glue, hot glue gun for the frames to the head, double-sided tape for the LEDs to the monitor, hot glue gun for the board. Oh, epoxy glue for the board. I gave it these legs because I thought the gap would be good to not muffle my voice, but there's not enough surface area for it to stay. I also added some childproof foam to line the opening as an extra safety measure so I don't accidentally slit my throat. And heck, let's add these hooks, because it's probably a good idea to not have loose wires so close to my neck. Everything else I just slotted into place and held together with these. It's almost done, it just needs something because it's still plain as f. Got a nice mint colored one and the shiny holographic one for some highlights. Using some templates I printed out, I cut these to make stickers.
It's fucking beautiful and perfect, besides the inhaling of 50 different kinds of glue fumes. And it's not that heavy.
Whoa. Maybe it'll still cause a spinal injury in the long term, but still, I think they're both pretty great. Oh.
If you want to make something like this too, my condolences. I did make a tutorial for the electronics part.
It has the recipe, the entire code, detailed instructions, and I set it up so you can easily just swap the image files to customize and make your own.
We all know how expensive cosplay can be, alongside general living costs and housing and gacha games. Also, so it's available for free in the link below. Now if you excuse me, I have a new head to show off.